Alrighty, fans from life. We're gonna do some quick testing on this. I guess it's really not testing, but more functionality. That this is gonna work the way I want it to. Let me get the camera set up a little bit. So first thing we're gonna do is phone. Make sure phone charges. I've got phone charger right here. We're going to go ahead and stick it in. It's USB-C. Let's stick it right in there. And let's see what happens here. Okay, phone's not charging. Let's try this one. Now, I have a battery pack on this phone, and that could be what's not coming on here. Alright, we'll try this one. So just to know the battery pack isn't charging, let's try this. Oh, okay, so this one, the battery pack will charge. Let's take my battery pack off and we'll go do the other two. Alright, so battery pack off. You can see that's charging. And we'll go to these here. And battery's charging. And then we'll do this one. Battery's charging. Okay, so battery pack will charge on this one, but not on those two. Alright, let's try iPad. Okay, we'll try an iPad with the USB. Alright, let's put this in here. Alright. Let's see, can we see that? We'll find out. Okay, USB. And it is charging. You can see that. Just do this here. USB. Charging. And USB here. Charging. So iPad will charge on all of those. All right, let's go with the watch now. Okay, there's my watch. Alright, we're going to go USB-C on this one. And then watch is charging. You see that on there? Oh, it needs to be charged. Okay, we'll try these two. Watch is charging. And then we'll try the other one. And you see that watch is charging. So watch charges on all of them. Alright, we're going to plug a fan into the we'll plug a fan into, which back up here, into the inverter and show that this works as well. I got a little ahead of myself with the inverter. You got to have it hooked up. So this has a little warning on here. If you're going to use this cigarette lighter cord, you got to keep it under 150 watts. I do have some cable clamps if you want to go more than 150 watts. It's a 500 watt inverter. So we'll stick that in there. We'll turn that on. Turn this back on. We'll get that turned back on. And we'll turn the inverter on. And we'll turn this fan on. It's a 3-speed fan. And the inverter alone is running 10 watts. So we'll plug this in. So fan on speed 1 jumps us up to about 40 watts. Speed 2 bumps us up to 45 watts. And speed 3 bumps us up to 52 watts. So we are still under that 150 watts. More importantly, it's 3.84 amps. So we're not going to be anywhere near 40 amps on this thing. I don't think I'm plugging in that high. But anyway, so go ahead and turn this back off. So that's just a test of the inverter. So to recap, tested the inverter. It works with a fan. I also had a light on here too, so that works. We tested the USBs and the USB-Cs on both of these. The cigarette lighter itself works. And then one last thing we have on here is this light right here. It's kind of bright. And that is about 14. We're going to turn that off. So yeah, this light by itself is 15 watts, 1 amp. Just wanted to do quick. Everything works on here. The inverter works. The meter works pretty good, even though I don't like it, but it works for what it's here for. And all of these work. And then I'll do some testing on the battery itself. We're going to go ahead and test, and we'll run it all the way down. We'll plug in a couple of things, run it all the way down to about 10%. See what we get out of the battery, and then we'll go ahead and we'll plug it into some solar panels and see how long it takes to charge the battery back up. So anyway, we'll go on to that next. Okay, I'm going to plug in this light, which can't see, but it's just a LED light. I think it's about maybe 90 watts or so, maybe a little less. And then I have this fan here, I think it's 40 watts. And I'm going to turn this light on here. So I think everything is going to add up to about 135 watts. So first thing we're going to do, I charged this battery up. It was pretty impressive. It charged up to 727. I'm not sure you can read that. Maybe 727 watt hours and 53.1 amp hours. And it took. I drained the whole thing, and it took 6 hours and 13 minutes to charge it up. So let's go ahead and reset everything. We'll clear that out. We'll see how long it takes. Oops. We'll see how long it takes to drain everything here. Start the timer over. Okay, so everything's zeroed out. We're going to go ahead and plug in the, let's turn this on. So right now, just running this inverter is 10 watts, plus the little plug that turns this on. So we'll plug that light in. Oops, sorry. Plug the light in, and now we're reading 49 watts. And plug the fan in. And I'll set you right here. Maybe you can see up in there, I'm not sure. Plug the fan in. Fan's on, so now we're reading 95. Read that, maybe? Reading 95 watts, and then we're going to turn this little light on right here. Okay. So all told, we used 109 watts. So if you do the math, and it's 8.1 amps. So if you do the math, it should take about a little over 6 hours to discharge this, and I'm going to discharge it down to about 10%. And like I said, it'll probably take about 6 hours. So we'll come back and check on it and see what progress we made. Come back a couple hours. All right, I'll look out. All right. Looks like we've been rolling for an hour and 48 minutes. We've used up 187 watt hours, which seems to be about right, using 103 watts an hour. We're at about 14.4 amp hours, which coordinates to, and battery says 59%. So everything looks like it's going according to plan. It's looking pretty good. We'll come back maybe about an hour or so, maybe 2 hours, and see where we're at. It should be wrapped up around another 4 hours. Or no, yeah, maybe another 4 or 5 hours. So we'll come back in a couple hours. All right, we are almost 4 hours into this, and we are looking at 406 watt hours. We're at 31.2 amp hours, and it's saying we got 56%. That's what we've used, 56%, so we got 44% left. So maybe the numbers are working out right. We're at 12.9 volts. So we'll come back about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and see where we're sitting at. All right, we're rolling on pretty good. We're at 5 hours and 47 minutes. 604 watts. Amp hours is 46.6. 0.7 that we use. We're at 12.5 volts. Battery says we're down to 46%. And that number is really going to be jumping here in the next half hour. So we'll come out probably about 45 minutes or so and see where we're at. Remember, this battery's rated at 50 amp hours and it's about 650 watt hours. So we'll be back. It's doing pretty good. Alrighty, I just got here. I turned the fan and the light off, and we are at 52.6 amp hours. We're down to 6%. We're at 11.2 volts and 675 watt hours, and 6 hours and 30 minutes. So I'm going to shut this off. And tomorrow we'll hook solar panels up. It's supposed to be nice. And see if we can get this charged back up. Alright, so this is the test on this DC house battery. Way over specs. Okay. Alrighty, it's a nice day out. We're going to set these solar panels up. And it's a 100 watt panel, folds out. I made a extra long cable, so I need that open anyway. Let's see here, and I'm just gonna leave this flat out here because we got quite a bit of sun coming up. It's right basically overhead, and it's gonna kind of go around. I'm gonna move this. Hope you can see this box. I'm gonna move it onto the ground. So let's get this plugged in. Okay, and And this just, it comes with a cord. It's got a bunch of different connectors, which I don't have. So I made an extra long cord. Okay. I'll just kind of put this here. I'm going to zip it up a little bit. And then set this back out. Alright, we're going to go ahead and turn this back on. Probably out of picture here, but let's see if I can turn this. I think I'll just grab the camera. And we're going to go ahead and turn this back on. I'm going to charge this up. We were down to like 7% last night. This is the port for the solar panels. So we got it right here. I'm going to shove this a little bit here. Set this down right here. And this down here. As you can see. And so let's see here. I don't think I need that. Yeah, I do. Here we go. Let's see. Black goes on top, so I don't need that extra one. Yeah. Black goes on top here, so we should be able to just do this. All right, and okay. As you can see, the solar charger is, I think you can see in there, it says 2.1 amps, 12.3 volts. So we're going to move this box down into the shade, which will, because we're shading the solar panel right now. So I'm just going to set this here, close this up, and then we're going to move this into the shade down here, and see if we're getting a little more. Let's see here. Now I made this so this comes off. Let's see if it does come off. And no, it didn't. Okay, so it's reading 3.8 amps now. So we'll see how this goes. Stick that back on there. Close this. Well, I was going to leave this open, but I'm going to move it over so it's all in the shade. Alright, let's go ahead and reset this meter so we know where we're sitting here. We'll clear that out. Clear that out. And we'll clear this out. All right, so it says it's bringing in 4.4 amps, so it's going to take quite a while to charge this thing up. So we'll just keep this out of the sun for the most part and let it charge up. We'll come back in a couple hours and see where we're at. Okay, we are at about an hour and 20 minutes. We got about 61.7 watts coming in off of these panels. Maybe a little bit more since the charge controller is using a little bit of power. So 4.6 amps, and we're at, what does that say? 6.4 amp hours, 6.04 amp hours. So multiply that by about 9, maybe 8. So we got 8 more hours to go. So, yep, got about 8 more hours to go. So I don't think we're going to get it all done today. I'll come back. All right, looks like we've been at this for about 4.5 hours, and we've got 20 amp hours, which is about a third of the way. We're still kicking at 4.26 amps, 57 watts, and we're at 271 watt hours. So, and our battery says 72%, but that's not true. So we're still looking good. We still got a few more hours of sun, so we'll come back in a couple hours. All right, we're right at 6 hours. We've charged this up 347 watt hours, 26 amp hours, so roughly half. The clouds are out, so we're only getting about 1.5 amps coming into these solar panels. So it doesn't look like we're going to charge up today, but I think I'm just going to leave. Well, we'll just resume this in the morning. I'm not going to leave this outside. We'll resume it in the morning and see how long it takes to fully charge this battery with this 100 watt solar panel. Alrighty, I've had this running now for about 3 hours, and we're up to 32 amp hours and 436 watt hours. So we might get this done by the end of the day. We'll see how many more hours it takes. We're getting some pretty good sun now. What's that? 3.8 amps coming in. So, and what's that say? 52 watts. So yeah, we might make it by the end of the day. All right, Farm Life out. Okay, so it's a very overcast day. It's actually raining, so I disconnected everything. And so another 6 hours and 48 minutes. We are now up to 38.4 amp hours and 515 watt hours. So we're pretty close, but no sun, no charge. All right, this is third day of charging these batteries. Yesterday was no sun at all. We did 6 hours yesterday and barely got anything charged. So sunny out today. We'll put it back out here right now. We're getting about 60 watts of power coming in. So maybe another 6 hours and we should have her all charged up today if we keep the sun up. I'm also got these solar panels just laying flat. I think this is the best because the sun is gonna, I don't want to point it up there, but it's there and it's gonna go like this. So I think this is the best option right here. So anyway, we'll come back in a couple hours and see where we're at. All right, we are almost 16 hours of total charge time. We are at 50.9 amp hours, 13.8 volts, and 688 watt hours. So, yeah, we'll see when it shuts off, because it should shut off once it fills up. So, let's keep an eye on it. This battery's looking really good. All right, looks like we are fully charged now. 712 watt hours, 52.6 amp hours, and we're at 14.3 volts. So it looks like we're now just trickle charging. Looks like a little over an amp just to keep us up. And a total time of 16 hours and 17 minutes. All right, this is the final wrap on the test of this DC House 12.8 volt 50 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery, 640 watt hour capacity. Now this battery outperformed, as we saw in the videos. it went to about 53 amp hours and well over, I think it was what, 700 watt hours. So I'm giving a 5+ stars on this battery. It performed well, above expectations. And so the final wrap on this battery is, it works perfect. I discharged it a couple times, all the way down to less than 10%, and charged it with an AC charger and solar panels. And they both, although the solar panels took a long time, both charged up more than 50 amp hours and more than 640 watt hours. So meets expectations. So if you're thinking about getting a battery, this is one to get. And no, they're not sponsoring me. I did have to pay for this. So anyway, final wrap on this battery test. Exceeded all expectations. Farm Life out.